Take off the whole red Balisier wardrobe, Pearce. The age attack exposes you again. An editorial by Professor Wall Street. Pearce Robinson is at it again. This time he hides behind a follower highlight, elevating one Simeon Mahabir's supposedly serious question about political leadership, retirement age, and the responsibility of those entrusted with shaping a country's long-term future. Strip away the polite packaging and everyone can see the target. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar, age 74, is too old. That is the whole point of the post. But here is the question Robinson never asks, because his politics will not let him. If a leader's age is now a serious national concern, why did he never once run this analysis on Dr. Keith Rowley, who is 76, older than Kamla, and led this country for a full decade? The silence answers itself. Robinson has no principle about age. He has a target, and the target always wears yellow. It is not just the red P&M Balisier tutu showing this time. It is the Balisier underwear, the Balisier sunglasses, and the Balisier pallet man slippers too. Here are 10 reasons the entire costume needs to come off. 1. He never questioned Rowley's age for 10 years. Keith Rowley was born in 1949 and governed Trinidad and Tobago from 2015 to 2025, leaving office at 75. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, born in 1952, is 74. If age genuinely disqualifies a leader from shaping a country's long-term future, Rowley was the older man in the chair for an entire decade. And Robinson raised the question exactly 0 times. A concern that appears only when the UNC is in office is not a concern. It is a weapon painted red. 2. The world's democracies are led by people Kamla's age and far older. Donald Trump, whom Robinson's own P&M quotes eagerly, is 80. Brazil's Lula is in his 80s. Cameroon's Paul Biya is 93. King Salman and Mahmoud Abbas are 90. The current U.S. presidency, the largest economy on earth, is run by a man 6 years Kamla's senior. If 74 is too old to lead a nation, Robinson had better start filing serious questions about half the planet. He won't, because the number was never the issue. The party was. 3. He launders a personal attack through a follower. The cheapest trick in the propagandist kit: put the smear in someone else's mouth, then highlight it. By framing Mahabir's question as the serious concern of an ordinary citizen, Robinson gets to run an age-based attack on the Prime Minister while keeping his own fingerprints off it. That is not commentary. That is ventriloquism with a Balisier puppet. 4. He dresses a hit job in the language of statesmanship. Notice the vocabulary: responsibility, long-term future, those entrusted. It is engineered to sound high-minded and non-partisan. But high-minded language in service of a one-sided attack is just propaganda in a suit. Real concern about leadership and succession would apply to every party and every leader. Robinson's applies to precisely one. 5. Age was a virtue when his side had the gray hairs. For a decade, experience and seniority was sold to the country as Rowley's great asset: the seasoned geologist, the veteran statesman. The moment the older leader is on the UNC bench, that same seniority is rebranded as decrepitude. You cannot celebrate experience when it wears yellow and condemn it when it wears the other color. That is not analysis. That is a double standard with a party card. 6. He offers no standard, no cutoff, no principle, just a target. If Robinson genuinely believes there should be a retirement age for leadership, let him state it plainly. What is the number? Does it apply to Rowley, to Trump, to every future P&M leader? He will never commit, because a real principle would bind his own side too. He wants the insinuation without the accountability. That is the tell of a propagandist, not a thinker.
7. His problem above all is the size of his own ego. Pearce Robinson genuinely believes he is the brightest bulb in the box. Picture the box, 12 bulbs, 11 rated at 50 watts, and Pearce convinced he alone is the 1,000 watt. He is so certain of his own brilliance that it never occurs to him to ask whether his serious questions would survive being applied to his own side. A man that impressed with himself never audits his own hypocrisy, because in his mind, he doesn't have any.
8. He mistakes his own bias for objective analysis. Robinson presents his output as sober, disinterested examination. But this is a man who reportedly believes that when he sits on the toilet, he produces flowers and perfume. That is the level of his self-regard. When someone thinks that highly of himself, he cannot tell the difference between a fair analysis and a partisan attack, because he assumes everything he produces must be sweet-smelling by definition. The country can smell the difference even when he can't. 9. He counts on his followers not doing the arithmetic. The entire post depends on readers feeling that 74 sound old, without ever comparing it to Rowley's 76 or to the ages of the world leaders his own party admires. The facts are one Google search away, and they dismantle him instantly. A man who bets that his audience won't check is not informing them. He is managing them.
10. This is the pattern, not the exception. First, the tariff post, where he buried the fact that Trinidad and Tobago negotiated its rate down. Now the age post, where he buries the fact that his own former leader was older still. It is the same move every time. Find an angle that wounds Kamala, amputate every fact that complicates it, and dress the remainder as concern. Once you see the pattern, everything Robinson writes against the UNC government must be read with a heavy pinch of red Balisier salt.
In conclusion, so here is the plain truth, one more time. Age is not a scandal. It is a fact of life shared by Kamala Persad-Bissessar, by Keith Rowley, who is older than her, by Donald Trump, who is older than both, and by leaders of great nations across the world. The only scandal is a commentator who discovers serious questions about a leader's age the instant that leader belongs to the party he opposes, while spending 10 years in total silence about the older man on his own side. That is not truth spoken to power. That is a costume. And Pearce, at this point, the costume is complete. The red Balisier tutu, the Balisier underwear, the Balisier sunglasses, and the Balisier palletman slippers, all of it. Take the whole outfit off. Climb down off the 1,000-watt pedestal, and until you can ask your serious questions of your own side as readily as you ask them of Kamala, flowers, perfume, ego, and all. The country is entitled to read every word you write with a heavy pinch of red Balisier salt. Robinson continues to echo the words of PNM Chairman Marvelous Marvin Gonzalez. Every member of the PNM is a propagandist of the PNM.